out here. It's not enough just for the optics, right? You have to get out and do the actual work. When somebody's calling you on that platform and saying we're out here today doing an anti-racism work, that was highly trained police. Because history will judge you.
They can't seem to miss killing unarmed black men on our street. They never miss. Shoot them down every time. How can you shoot somebody with not getting armed? What kind of training is that? The training divides and rules.
Hello everybody, and thanks again for watching this video. As I promised in my last upload, this is the full footage from the Black Lives Matter and Stand Up to Racism protest that I came across in Manchester last Saturday. I've paused the video there because those of you who watched my last video, you will realise that just to the right hand side there, that is the leader of Stand Up to Racism Manchester. And have you noticed that she isn't taking the knee? She stood up. She's not taking part in the knee-bending bullshit that she is promoting. Now buckle up, because this the speeches that you are about to hear from the usual far-left refugees welcome here gang, it's really going to boil your piss. The first speaker talks about how racist Britain is. He focuses on the police, and listen carefully. His message when talking about the police is, we want to abolish all systems of control. Well, that means a lawless state with no police. This is a policy that Black Lives Matter have been very open about from day one. The second speaker I've covered in my last video, that explains that they're advertising groups to prevent the authorities from performing immigration raids. They are tipped off and funded by our government. She's also the one that you could see, I pointed out earlier, stood up. She's the leader of Stand Up to Racism Manchester, and she wasn't taking the knee. And of course, as always, as you would expect, we had the Socialist Workers' Party there, trying to sell their newspapers for £1. I kindly declined when I was asked if I wanted to buy one of their newspapers for £1. And yeah, I pretty much made out I don't agree with the anti-British Socialist Workers' Party. But could I take a photograph? And she kindly allowed me to take a photograph, so there it is. I'm going to play the footage now. Now, there is a third speaker. He's an American guy. He's the leader of the Black Lives Matter movement. And his speech was very, very venomously anti-British. Totally hateful against this country. So I'm going to play the footage of the first three speakers. And I'm going to give my response to the American leader of Black Lives Matter after his speech has been played.
Because of his identity, he was shot and killed in the head. And remembering that violence, remembering its daily expression is incredibly important. I don't want you to forget. I don't want this to be your first and last protest. I want you to continue to show up. I want you to join the organizations that are doing the work in the community. Because unless it's rooted in the community, it's just going to evaporate. And we can't have it evaporate. Because every single person's life matters. And that's why we say Black Lives Matter. Because until somebody like Chris Cabba's life matters, then none of our lives really matter. And if they'll do it to Chris Cabba, they'll do it to you. And if they won't do it to you, they'll do it to your son, or to your daughter, or to your cousin. So that's why we have to get out here. It's not enough just for the optics, man. You have to get out and do the actual work. When somebody's calling you on that platform and saying we're out here today doing an anti-racism workshop, where are you? Because history will judge you based on what you do here today, the decisions that you take into your own personal life and into your own work life. So what you do here matters. I want you to understand that, because it's so important that it matters. Because it's on one side to have brothers, friends and family in the prison system and in the criminal justice system that picks on people based on where they come from. And it's another thing entirely to be on the other side and working from that. And that's where you need to be. You need to be on the front lines, so that nobody else's son has to lose their life because of police violence, because of an institutionally racist organization. We want community control. We want democratic control. We want to abolish all systems of oppression that continue to place the burden of pain on the shoulders of just a very few. All power to the people, rest in power to Chris Kava, and I hope we continue to push for human rights and equality for all people.
Thanks so much for that. Thanks so much. We do need to stay connected. We absolutely need to be organised. Because let's be very honest, their side is organised. The police, the education system, the prison system, the state, it's organised to stack up against black people in this country. So as the anti-racist movement, we need to stay connected and we need to get organised. We know under this new Tory government, this new cabinet, they're going to be more racism. They're going to push their divisive policies. They have to. They want us to pay for their austerity. They want us to pay for what they've done to the economy. And they're going to use racism to provide us. They keep telling us those refugees, those migrants coming on those dinghies, terrified for their lives, with nothing but a rucksack if they're lucky, are the problems. We know they're not the problem. The problem is that there are rich people, corporations in Britain that don't pay their dues. They don't pay their taxes, the rest of us have to work, the rest of us have to tighten our belts, and they get away with making profits, putting their pockets before us. So we need to stay organised, we need to stay connected, because we know the racism coming from this Tory cabinet is going to be worse than we've seen previously. So I think some of you will already be on the Stand Up to Racism WhatsApp group. If you're not on it, I'd ask you to join. We need to stay organised. So there is a QR code going around. If people, I think there are a couple of people walking through the crowd. If you want to join the Stand Up to Racism WhatsApp group, please use that QR code or come and see me and I can make sure to get you on that group. Only a couple of, I think Robbie was, under a month ago, there was an immigration raid at a workplace, at a restaurant in Chorlton. Because of the organisation within the WhatsApp group, we could get into that area, we could go to Chorlton, and in less than an hour there were 100 people defending 2 people who were all just trying to earn a living in a restaurant in Chorlton, and we stopped that immigration raid. That goes to show that when we're organised, we can stop them. We can help people in our community, we can stand together. So I want people, I'm going to come through the crowd. If anybody's not part of the WhatsApp group, please come and see me and I'll get you on there. But I think Ron would like to say a few words. Go on.
We're told by the establishment about these highly trained police. They're real sharpshooters. And they are. They can't seem to miss killing unarmed black men on our streets. They never miss. They shoot them down every time. How can you shoot somebody who has not got an arm? What kind of training is that? It's a training of divide and rule. They built an empire out of that. When we talk about Britishness, that is what they think it is. Divide and rule. Why else would we put up with a handful of very rich people exploiting and robbing the rest of us if we weren't divided? That's why unity is the most important thing for our movement. Black and white unite isn't a slogan, it's a practical guide for change, and we need change. The only real change comes from struggle. When we are united, we take to the streets, we go out on the strikes, we occupy the factories, we take over the streets of Piccadilly and the rest. When we show our strength, then they will start to fear us, and that's what we want. We have got an interest in fighting for a better world. They want a world divided and racist. We want a world united, where we're all brothers and sisters. That's the only world that's worth fighting for. This is our world, and we're going to take it.
Right, so that was the guy who was clearly in charge of the Black Lives Matter section of this protest. It was a joint protest between Black Lives Matter and Stand Up to Racism. He was the guy in charge of the Black Lives Matter section, and his disgusting rant was poisonous and hateful towards the British people and our nation. At the end of it, he says, "This is our world, and we are going to take it." I have a message for him. Thanks to you, America. We have this via Black Lives Matter group that was born in America. It's been imported over here by America, and it's been imported all over the Western world by America. Your disgusting, hateful speech means you are clearly an ungrateful guest, and you should be deported. There is a lion in this country, I firmly believe that, and one day it's going to roar and bite back. That day is coming, my friends. Also, have you noticed that the three speakers who've already spoken and made speeches, not one of them is English, and you've got one more to come, and likewise, he's not English either. This is just more evidence that multiculturalism has failed this country. You only have to ask the people in Leicester right now. I'm pretty sure they would say multiculturalism isn't working, because they have got Indian Hindus and Pakistani Muslims rioting the streets, causing havoc, and none of our people, none of the indigenous people in Leicester asked for this. We was never asked for this.
Yeah. Okay, I know there's lots of new people I've just joined, so it's great that you're here. I want to make it really clear why we're standing here today. So I'm going to say this. Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Never forget, he's a 24-year-old man who was shot by the police. He was unarmed. His car was stopped. They didn't have a conversation with him. He did try to run away. They decided to shoot him on the spot. And that's why we're here. So it's great that we're here. We're going to continue coming out. I hope you're all on the WhatsApp group. We will let you know what's going on. Obviously, the family will see what's happened today across the country, and if they make a call to come out again, we'll be out in the streets again. But let's stay connected. Thank you very much, everybody. Black Lives Matter! 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 Thank you very much. Just quickly, we've got somebody who, after he just told me, went past Sword again and decided to stand with us, but he wants to say a few words. And since it's his first time on one of our demos, I'd like to hand it over.
Can I just say, the thing on my back is today is my backpack. I'm a school student, I'm an A-level student, I'm 17 years old, stood here fighting an institution that has been racist for too long. Later on, when I go home when the sun sets, I'm going to be worrying about a police eyeing me up like I'm the murderer, when they're the ones with blood on their hands. For too long, every single institution, the government, education, the police, all abhorrently racist to the Afro-Caribbean and Asian community. Yeah, and that's all I have to say, sorry. No justice! No racists!
All right, thanks very much, everybody.
Excuse me,
Have you got it, yeah?
what's this? What's
It's a
that
QR
group?
code. Have you got a QR code reader on you?
This is for the group that's stopping the when they're going to deport illegal immigrants.
Oh,
They're stopping
okay.
them. Is that
No,
correct?
well, it does do that. Yeah.
Who's behind that group?
It's Manchester Stand Up to Racism.
So Manchester Stand Up to Racism is preventing the deportation of illegal immigrants.
I don't think there's such a thing as an illegal immigrant. I just realised
Yeah, there we have it. These groups that are sending out text messages so that hundreds of people are turning up for getting tipped off. I'm pretty sure they're getting tipped off by the government that the authorities are going to collect illegal immigrants to deport them. I'm pretty sure they get tipped off by some lefty in the government. And these boys stand up to racism. They've got a WhatsApp group, and they quickly get boots on the ground, hundreds of people. We've seen it in videos to stop for deportation of illegal immigrants.